What is good with it, YouTube? It is Quantum Gaming here, back with another Division 2 video today. So today we're going to be checking out my Michael Bay build. Now, I do got to go ahead and put the disclaimer out there. I am in no way the originator of this build. That would be Jetforth Gaming, and I'll definitely leave a link to his channel and his video in the description below. But basically, he made his video about 3 months ago, and if I'm not mistaken, that was before both TU4 and 5 release, so that was before like the gunner specialization and also the skills like revamp and how they buffed all the skills. So basically I'm just gonna make this video showing you guys my version of the build, and it'll you guys can kind of see how it works in TU5 here. So I guess we'll go ahead and get into it. So let's see, this is what we're actually working with here. So it's a 5-4-9 build. It's nothing too strong right now. There's definitely still a lot of room to improve this build, but this is what we're working with. We got 211,953 armor, and which is not a lot of armor at all, to be honest, but hey, it is what it is. Health is only 3,600, so or 36,000, which is not a lot of health either. So to be honest, this build is kind of like a glass cannon build, but we do have a shit ton of skill power on this build. We're looking at 2,600 skill power, so this build hits very hard as far as skills go. So this is a skill power based build. We're using both the turret and the seeker mines with this build. So let's go ahead and get into it, and then yeah, we still will be using the demolitionist specialist as well for this build. So yeah, we'll get into it. So looking at the weapons, you can pretty much use whatever weapons you want with this build. I do like the stoner LMG. It's one of my favorite LMGs in the game right now, just because of the fact that I can get 300 potential rounds with it. And then I'm actually using the merciless with this as well. You don't have to use this with it, but the merciless is pretty decent because it actually occasionally does explosive damage, and considering that this build is a high explosive damage build, that is actually something that comes in handy. So, and of course you can use whatever sidearm you want. So moving straight to the equipment here. For the mask, we are running a China Light Industries mask just to get that extra 10% explosive damage. On this one, we have 6% skill haste, 410 skill power, and then of course we have the destructive talent. You will see destructive throughout this whole build because it's a seeker mine build basically. So we want as much skill power and explosive damage on this build as possible. So we got that. For the backpack, we are running a Murakami backpack. Now you can low-key kind of switch this out for whatever. This is just kind of the best backpack that I have right now to run with this build, but you can kind of use something else if you want. I get that 8% health. I get 7,000 health as well. I have 5% weapon damage on this and 6% crit chance. I don't really care for that crit chance at all, but once again, it's what we're working with. And of course we have destructive on it, and then we also have skilled. Now skilled works very good with this build because basically skill kills have a 25% chance to reset cooldown. So that skill right there is the main gear to this build basically. It's the thing that really makes this build like turn and operate. So basically that right there allows us to basically spam seeker mines whenever we get it back. We have a 25% chance of getting our seeker mines back, so it allows us to basically spam seekers, which is nice because there's been times where I've thrown a seeker and then basically like, because of the fact that the damage is so high on this build, my seeker will kill enemies in one hit, and I'll have like 8 seekers that go out and kill like 8 enemies, which gives me 8 times of a chance to get that skilled back. That skilled it basically multiplies that 25% by 8 which makes it almost guaranteed for me to get that, because I have a 25% chance to get that skill cooldown but we have 8 times of that 25% chance. So most of the time you're gonna be getting it back whenever you dump your seeker or whenever you send out your seeker, which is nice because you know, you'll be able to spam seekers. That's the whole point of the Michael Bay build, being able to spam your seeker mines basically, and it's a bunch of explosions. So anyways, and then we're running a utility protocol repository mod. It has 132 skill power, 1% grenade damage, and then explosive 3% explosive damage. So that's a little bit of extra explosive damage right there. Going to the chest piece, we have an Alps Summit Armament chest piece. With this I get 20% skill haste, which is nice. And this was actually one of the, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was actually one of the brand sets that were buffed since TU3, which was when Jetforth made his video. So I think when he made his video, it was only at 10% skill haste. So that's something to look at there. It's an improvement. And got 387 skill power. I actually have 15% headshot damage on this piece, and then of course the 20% explosive damage. And for this one we have 3 mods on it. We have a defensive system mending mod, which is basically just for armor, and then we have a utility protocol repository mod. Mainly I have that just for that extra 4.5% explosives damage, which comes in handy. And then we have another mending mod for armor and stuff. So that's that. Now moving into the glove, of course we have our BTSU data gloves. Now I feel like you can kind of use these. You can use these if you want, or you can kind of use something else. Before I got these gloves, I believe I was using what was I using? I was using a different I think I was using Terminate. Yeah, that's what I was using. I was using Terminate, and Terminate actually works good with this build as well because depleting an enemy armor grants 35% skill damage for 15 seconds, and then kills actually refresh this. So low key, to be honest, I might switch back to this as well because that 35% skill damage is just, it's kind of hard to beat that, to be honest. But as of right now, I have the BTSU data gloves on it because I was just trying these out. I'm not gonna go into what these do that much, but you can kind of look up what these do, what these gloves do. But as far as the mods, I have grenade damage, a grenade damage mod, a 133 skill power, 147 skill power, and then a mending mod just for armor and stuff on that. But yeah, it's not bad because I will talk about the charge proxy. So basically whenever you throw a skill, basically 1.25 seconds after landing, it creates an explosion, applying the infused status effect to all enemies within 6 meters, and then enemies that are affected by the infused effect take 50% more damage from your skills. So that's the reason why I was using it, because it's like you have 50% versus 35%, you know what I'm saying? So you can kind of choose what works well or what works better for you. If you find yourself depleting enemies armor more, then I would definitely go for that constant 35%. But if you want to just go for maximum damage, then definitely go for the BTSU data gloves. Or if you just don't have the data gloves yet, then definitely go for Terminate. So moving to the holster, we got a Wyvern wear holster. This is another one that I don't really care. This is another brand set that I don't really care for on this build. Got the crit hit damage, but I'm using it because this particular holster that I have has a very high skill power roll on it. I'm getting like 763 skill power from this, and then of course I have the 20% explosive damage, and yeah, so that's why I'm running this, because that gives me a good amount of that. And then I just have like a regular firearms mod, weapon damage to armor. So yeah, low key, another thing that you can kind of do is, like, if you do want to get an extra 20% explosive damage on these gloves, then I would definitely go for that as well, because you know, you can get an extra, you can basically just kind of go the simple route and get extra explosive damage. But anyways, lastly, for the knee pads, I just got a Providence knee pads, which gives me an extra 10% skill power, and then I have 369 skill power on this with another 20% explosive damage. And then for this I have a 1.5 weapon damage. I know I could definitely use some better mods on this build, but I don't know, my mod RNG kind of sucks, so I don't have a lot of luck when it comes to mods and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's pretty much the build overall. It's a very good build, to be honest. It's definitely not something that you would go into PvP with, and it's not something that you would probably solo with, but low-key I have actually soloed missions with this build now that I think about it, just because of the fact that you can spam seekers and your seekers are gonna take them out like almost all the time. So we'll go ahead and look at the skill stats right quick. Now I use the assault turret because it's just kind of better just to use the assault turret, because you'll be able to kill enemies faster. So, and the assault turret actually goes, it also works with skilled as well, because basically the assault turret is still a skill, and the way that skilled works is any skill kill has a 25% chance to reset cooldowns. So on top of those 8 seeker mines, you have your assault turret that's killing enemies as well, and the assault turret in TU5 like wrecks. So as you can see, cooldown is only 35, or I guess 37 seconds. Duration is 300 seconds though. So that's like what, 300 seconds? That's like, let's see, what's my math? Shoot, ain't that like 5 minutes? I believe that's 5 minutes. So yeah, that's a long ass time. And health, it has a decent amount of health. The turrets always have a decent amount of health on it. And damage is 19,206, which is pretty high. I actually do need a better damage roll on this though. the mod, once again, my skill power mods is trash. My skill power RNG is trash, but yeah, I do need a better damage mod on this. I only have 41% damage, and you can see it's only taken 823 skill power, even though my skill power is like more than twice that. So definitely as you can see, there's definitely room for this and build to be improved even more. You know, same with my skill haste mod right there. It's only 38.4, and then I do have a good damage mod on it though.
Agent requesting backup.
Isaac in the back, but I actually do have a good damage mod in the back, or excuse me, a good damage mod here, which does an extra 112.2% damage. So yeah, that's actually really good, but definitely some room for improvements though. And then my seeker mine, my current seeker mine that I have, I like it because in TU5 they actually tell you the number of mines, whereas before they didn't. So once again, I have 8. Cooldown is only 32 seconds. Health is kind of irrelevant, but look at how much damage it does, man. It almost does 500,000 damage. That is crazy. Blast radius is 4.0, and I have an extra mines mod on here, and 4 extra mines. And then I have 2 damage mods on here. So 65.4 and then 68.8. So there you go on that. And yeah, that's actually about it, guys. Yeah, basically, yeah, guys, you can you can see how much damage this build does. I can't exactly show you, you know, how fun it is. I don't have any footage of me like really running it right now, but you guys can definitely have some fun with this build. And if not, once again, this was just kind of like an expansion off of Jet Forth's video. And if you watch his video, you can see, you know, how he gets his seekers back, and you know, you can see him basically like soloing, you know, the mission that he was doing and shit. And you know, so you know, you can kind of get a little bit more context. But yeah, guys, this is pretty much it for this video. I think we're gonna go ahead and end it there. And lastly, actually, you know what, let me go ahead and show you guys the stats right quick. So these are like all of my gear talents. I just wanted to show you guys the overall stats. So as you can see, we don't have that much weapon damage. We have a little bit of crit chance, which we don't really need. A little crit damage, which we don't really need either, but we do got a decent amount of headshot damage, which is nice, 80%. Got a little bit of extra reload speed, just a tad bit of accuracy and stability, and we have some weapon damage bonuses, you know, just 15%, mainly from the specialist. That's basically what that is. We only have 5% DTE, which is crazy because I'm still able to melt the hell out of enemies without even having much. Well, they don't get melted, but considering the fact that I can throw a seeker and it takes them out in one hit and I only have 5% damage DTE, I mean, that's something. So anyways, we got armor, no armor on kill, no health on kill either. We got just a little bit of burn resistance, so I guess that's always good. And then we got 26% skill haste, which is not bad at all. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, let's add up the explosive damage right quick. So we got 30% from that piece right there. We have another 23%, so that's what, 53%. We have, okay, so 53, so okay, we have another 24.5%, so that is 53 plus 24.5, that is 77.5. Let's see, do I have any explosive damage on this? I have grenade damage, but grenade damage, I don't know if that's the same as explosive damage. I don't think it is, so I'm just not gonna count that. So we got 77.5, so this right here bumps it up to 97.5 right there. And then we have 117.5. So on this build we have 117.5 explosive damage on this build. So that's a lot of explosive damage. So anyways, y'all, I appreciate anybody watching this video. You know, you guys take it easy. Definitely leave a like, leave a sub, or, you know, go ahead and sub and do all that stuff if you guys want to. You don't have to, but, you know, I would appreciate it if you guys showed some love watching this video. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. If this build is a good build, if it's trash, you know, hey, look, I'll take any criticism, what, you know, things that I can do to make it better. Any advice, I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, you guys take it easy. Once again, thank you for watching this video, and peace out.